Welcome to First Time Watching. After the ending of the recap, I am going to spend a small moment to explain something that happens in the episode, which won't make sense unless you've read The Shining and its sequel Dr. Sleep. But now, it's time to dive into the recap of the 5th episode of HBO's new hit horror series, It, Welcome to Derry. Halloran pulls out of Taniel's mind, but Taniel is foaming at the mouth. The guards rush him straight to the medical office. The general wants to know if Halloran got what they needed. He confirms that he did. A nurse is tending to Marge's eye when Lily arrives. Marge tells the nurse it's okay. She's already told everyone Lily didn't hurt her. She told them that her glasses broke, and glass got lodged in her eye. Lily was only trying to help her. Marge apologizes to Lily for not believing her all this time. She wants to know why all of this is happening, but Lily doesn't have those answers. Still, Lily promises she won't let her go through this alone. The group meets up at the lookout to talk about Marge when they hear coughing inside the tent. A kid crawls out. It's Maddie. He asks them for help. The general tells the major about the 13 shards buried around the Galoo's woods. He explains that Taniel's tribe has been keeping the creature a secret and guarding its prison for over 400 years. But now that Halloran knows where the shards are and how to reach them, the military plans to shrink the monster's cage and contain it. Hanlon realizes what he really means. He wants to capture it. At 29 Neibolt Street, an abandoned house sits atop a tunnel system that leads directly to the shards. Tomorrow morning, Hanlon will lead a small team to tighten the cage around the creature, but the major hates everything about this. The general knew all of this was happening and still let him move his family into town. Lily asks Maddie where he's been all this time. He tells them he was in the sewers where it lives. The clown, it kept some of them alive, like it needed the fear. They ask how he escaped, and he says it feeds at night and sleeps during the day. So he waited for his moment and ran. He says it ate Teddy's brain right in front of him. It left Susie to bleed out after ripping off her arm. And Phil is still down there. He can't move or talk, but he's still alive. They say they should go to the police, but Maddie begs them not to. They'll only send him back to his dad, and he'd rather take his chances in the sewers. Meanwhile, Taniel's tribe discusses the creature and teaches the younger generation. They're approaching the augury, the event marking the final big killing spree, the end of the cycle, which is followed by 27 years of peace. A boy bursts in to tell them Taniel has been captured. The police move Hank to the bus that will transfer him to the state prison. The chief warns him that Charlotte better work fast. The last kitty killer didn't survive a week in state prison. A man suddenly charges Hank with a gun, but the officers stop him. It's Phil and Susie's father. Charlotte looks at the officers and notices a strange policeman watching everything with a wide, clownish smile and buck teeth. They load Hank onto the bus and begin the transfer. At home, Charlotte tries to find a way to help him when her husband walks in. He has something to tell her, and he needs them to believe it. Rose storms into the general's office, demanding to know where Taniel is. He gives her the part of his backstory that she missed out on. The army gave the general a drug 5 years ago to restore his memory. He remembers everything about what happened to them as children. He asked Rose why the creature can't leave the woods, and she told him about the 13 shards. That's when he realized this monster might be the answer to a question he's been haunted by for years: how to keep the country safe. Rose calls him insane. You can't put a leash on something like that. She tells him if he remembered everything, he wouldn't be doing this. He'd shut down the whole operation and run. But the general says they already know where the shards are. So Rose tells him he's going to need her help because she holds the original dagger, but she demands Taniel's immediate release so that he can join them. In the interrogation room, Taniel tells Rose they know everything because they went into his mind. She tells him she has the dagger and that he'll be joining the military because he's the only one who knows how to use it. The major begins moving his family out of town and onto the airbase. Meanwhile, Lily shows up at the orderly's doorstep and tells her about Maddie. The orderly's husband is standing in the living room and he's not a pleasant man. He leaves after warning his wife not to ruin dinner. The orderly begs Lily not to go into the sewers and wants her to go to the police instead. Lily promises she will. Will wants nothing more than to get back to his friends, and of course he's planning his escape. As he leaves the room, Charlotte sees on the news that Hank's prison bus has crashed and he's now on the run. The reporter also mentions that Neibolt Street has been closed off because of a gas leak. At Neibolt Street, the military is setting up their operation. Meanwhile, Lily brings Marge to the secret lookout. After being attacked, she's part of this now. She wants wants to go save Phil. The police won't believe them, so they'll have to do it themselves. They blackmail Maddie into guiding them. If he doesn't, they'll go to the police and he'll be sent back to his dad. Lily thinks they'll be fine as long as they take her mom's pills. They are Phil's only chance, so they need to step up. Will arrives. He snuck off the military base and joins the plan. The military and Taniel enter the Neibolt house to find the hidden well that leads into the sewers and eventually to the shards. Halloran, Hanlon, and the Colonel follow behind him. As Taniel leads, he watches the dagger closely, but Halloran keeps hearing his grandmother's voice as they approach the creature's domain. Taniel leads them deeper, but Halloran suddenly gets disoriented. When he jumps into the water, he feels like he's drowning. He resurfaces, but not in the sewers. He's in a bathtub. The soldiers around him have lost sight of him and are confused. Halloran's grandmother is there, warning him that he's coming again. Footsteps echo outside the door. The knob slowly turns. His grandfather walks in with a gun and a box locked with a chain around it. The soldiers can't locate Halloran, but they hear distant screams. Their gunlights fail, and footsteps approach. A rotting version of Uncle Sam steps out, points at them, screams, "I want you," and attacks. The others hear the screams. Maddie leads the kids to another sewer entrance near the train tracks. Lily divides the pills among them, and they all swallow a few. Then Maddie leads the way. Taniel signals that they're close. The Colonel turns and realizes Halloran and Hanlon are missing. Taniel uses the distraction to run. Colonel fires at him, but Taniel escapes, dropping the dagger in the process. Halloran is still in the bathroom vision. His grandfather complains that he and his grandma talk to each other in their minds. He doesn't have the gift, but he thinks he knows everything Grandma taught Halloran. Grandpa knows Halloran has locked his true power away inside a mental box, something Grandma taught him, but Grandpa believes powers like his shouldn't be contained. Halloran asks how he found the box, so Grandpa tells him he shouldn't hide it in such an obvious spot in his mind, all while Grandma begs him not to open it. Grandpa shoots Grandma in the leg. Halloran begs him not to open the box, but Grandpa does. Everything floods into Halloran's mind at once, the full potential of his shine. The kids are absolutely blasted on the pills, hallucinating as they walk through the sewers. As they get closer, the high starts wearing off. Hanlon and Russo are lost. Hanlon hears his wife's voice as she walks toward him, but Russo can't see her. His flashlight flickers, her voice distorts, her neck snaps, and she charges. Hanlon shoots her. He checks the body and she laughs and swims away. Hanlon warns Russo again, "Whatever you see, if it doesn't belong, shoot it." The kids reach a dead end, and suddenly, Susie's, Teddy's, and Phil's bodies float up from the water. Maddie begins to sing as his own body rises. He morphs into the clown and lunges. They run, but Lily trips and falls behind. Hanlon and Russo reach the exit, where the kids entered and hear their screams. Will turns the corner. Russo yells that he sees him too, and that he's real, but he sees he's too late, and Hanlon is going to shoot his own son, so Russo intercepts the bullet and gets shot himself. Hanlon tries to help him, but Russo says it's okay. The wound is fatal. The light fades from Russo's eyes. Hanlon tells the kids to run and lifts Russo's body. Lily is lost and trapped in a dead end. The clown looms behind her, mocking her attempt to save Maddie, calling him tasty. He lunges at her with his teeth aimed at her, but freezes. The dagger lies on the ground in front of Lily. Glowing, he backs away. Lily grabs it. The orderly gets into her car. As she adjusts the mirror, she sees Hank in the back seat. He tells her not to react, just drive. She drives him to the woods, where he embraces her and kisses her passionately. They try to think of a plan to keep him from being caught. Hank says he might know someone who can help. Charlotte is called to the base gate. The orderly, Mrs. Kirsch, is there to talk about their mutual friend. Hanlon gives his statement about the sewer events back on base. The general enters to offer condolences for Russo. Hanlon asks if Halloran made it out. Somewhere across town, another sewer exit opens, and Halloran emerges. In the forest, he sees another soldier wandering. It's Russo, but Russo is dead. But if he can see him, that means that Halloran's box is really open. Now that episode 5 is finished, let's talk a little bit about the box that made absolutely no sense if you do not know Dick Halloran from Stephen King's other works. Dick Halloran appears in The Shining, Dr. Sleep, and in the book version of it, and there we learned that when he was young, Dick was constantly abused by his grandfather, so that's why it took his form to convince him to open the box. Now, in Dr. Sleep, Halloran teaches Danny Torrance about The Shining. The young boy is constantly haunted by ghosts that keep getting closer and try to take control of him. So Halloran explains that if Danny creates a box in his mind and puts the dangerous, scary ghosts in there and then locks them up, they won't be able to hurt him anymore. That means that when it forced Halloran to open the box, all Dick's nightmares were released. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.